Hi, homebodies. I'm outside because we're going to go look at the garden and see how Joe is coming along with it. And I'm taking Chipper with us. As you can see, we have begun planting some tomatoes, herbs, and peppers in some of these raised beds. He also brought in better dirt for the second half of the garden, where he's going to plant more vegetables and corn. And he's going to make a pathway. You'll see that we're going to have a little contraption to grow squash and pumpkins. That will be in a future video. So we do have some plants. He's also going to make this fence more secure by covering it with a smaller type of fencing, smaller holes, so that critters can't climb through it. In the next few weekends, we should have all of our plants in the garden, hopefully, which will be great because we've never used that garden before. So it's a first for us. We will see how well it goes. Joe wants an early dinner because there are bad thunderstorms coming in tonight. So a quick, easy meal that we're going to make today is chicken tacos. I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. So it's a great meal if you're working and you want to throw something together really quick in the oven. You don't have to use any frying pans. All you have to do is put some seasoned chicken breast in a baking pan. So that's what we're going to do for dinner tonight, is quick and easy chicken tacos, and then Joe can come outside and get everything he needs to get done before the bad weather is coming in tonight. Let's look at Chipper. There he goes. No, you can't. Just go where you want to go. Chipper is an obedient dog, and he does listen, but I do worry about him not being on a leash. So when I take Chipper or Scout outside, I always have them leashed, just to keep them safe. These are some apple trees we have planted here. And there's Chipper. It's very hot and humid for the Catskills today. That's unusual. It's not usually this humid. So here's an overall view of the garden. That fence there's a brick wall underneath it. That's where the original farmhouse was. That was torn down by the previous owner so they could build our house. So that was where the foundation was for the original farmhouse. And it's right by the street. The street is right beyond those trees right there. This is Joe's garage. And you have to walk down this, I call it an apple path, because there are apple trees and fruit trees planted alongside this stone paved walkway. I'm back inside now. I'm gonna get dinner in the oven. My go-to chicken breasts that I keep in my freezer. I pop them in some room temperature water for 20 minutes to defrost them before I want to eat. I have drizzled some olive oil over them. And I'm going to be putting this taco seasoning, low sodium taco seasoning, over the top of the breasts. So we're just gonna sprinkle some of the seasoning over each of the breasts, and then I'm gonna flip them and I'm gonna season both sides. So I'm gonna take my tongs, I'm gonna flip them so I can get taco seasoning on both sides of these breasts. So both sides of the chicken breast will have seasoning. Take more seasoning, put it over the breast. So I just buy the Old El Paso taco mix. For me, it's just quicker and easier to. The chicken is seasoned on both sides and has oil. I'm gonna bake this uncovered for about 23 minutes. And that will allow the chicken to be fully cooked. I will check the temperature of the chicken to make sure it's 165 degrees Fahrenheit. After the chicken is cooked, I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna chop it up. I have my trusty Pampered Chef knife that I bought a few years ago, and my warped cutting board, and I'm gonna chop up my chicken. I've already prepared some of the things that are going to go with the tacos. So I have made guacamole. I'll show you how I do that in a minute. I've chopped an onion. I've chopped some tomatoes. Those are just cherry tomatoes. I've cleaned and shredded some iceberg lettuce. This time I bought some Kraft Colby Jack cheese, although there are times where I buy a chunk of sharp cheddar and I'll just shred it myself with my trusty cheese grater. But today I just bought the easy shredded cheese. So we have a choice of flour tortillas. I have these are little flour tortillas, or stand and stuff corn taco shells. Joe and Julius tend to like the flour tortillas. I tend to like the taco shells. And that's pretty much dinner. So dinner is going to be quick and easy tonight so that Joe can get outside before the rainstorm comes. You might wonder, why do I always cook 5 chicken breasts? Well, typically Joe and Julius each eat 2 chicken breasts, and I only have 1 chicken breast. So when I'm cooking for the 3 of us, I typically don't make more than 5 chicken breasts. I know there aren't many leftovers the way that I cook. But I don't want leftovers to go to waste, and sometimes Joe and Julius don't want to eat the leftovers, and I'm the only one eating the leftovers. So to avoid wasting leftovers, I just make different meals at night so that we don't have a lot of leftovers. Obviously, when I make a big pot of sauce or I make a big casserole, there's a lot of leftovers. This particular dish, we're not going to have leftovers. Most of it will be eaten tonight. So that's the plan for tonight. I have the cookies I made yesterday. Many of them still left over for dessert, and we're done with dinner. So I'll show you what the chicken looks like when it comes out of the oven. This is what I used to make my guacamole. So I just follow the directions. The directions say you need 2 avocados, 2 to 3 ripe avocados. I always use 3 because I like to have a lot of guacamole. All you do is avocados, smash them in a bowl, sprinkle this seasoning over it, mix well, put it in your fridge, and you have fresh guacamole. I make guacamole several times a month because we love it. I also have made it from scratch, but most of the time I just use this packet. And there are other brands that make similar guacamole seasoning, but that's the one that I typically use. Since the chicken is cooked, I'm going to turn off the oven. We're going to let these sit for 10 minutes before we chop them up, and dinner is ready. Table is set. Like guacamole, sour cream, lettuce, cheese, chopped onions, chopped tomato, tortillas and taco shells. All we're missing is the chicken. Thanks for cooking with me and taking a tour of the garden progress today. See you on the next video. Bye, homebodies.